Mecha Random 42, your favorite YouTube harpy, and today's episode of Doctor Who is episode 10, the Battle of Ranskoor of Kolos, aka the last episode of the season, aka an episode title I will probably never remember. In a million years, I had to write it down. Yeah, it's a weird episode title, but I mean, at least it kind of feels a little more Doctor Who in the episode title. And so, for the spoiler-free part of the review, well, this episode actually really progressed the arc of Graham and Ryan, but they did leave Yaz to do the whole babysit the guest star. You know, they put her in that role this episode. But I will have to say, this could be the best episode of the season. That's because we brought back some things from the start of the season, and the Doctor finally became more of that authority figure I've certainly been waiting for. Lord knows I've been complaining about that. She hasn't been the most authoritative person. She seems nervous and shy and all these things. But yeah, she seems much better in this episode. And I don't know, maybe Chinball, however you say his name, maybe he can actually write. I don't know, but this episode was written by him, so maybe he's good. I don't know. but yeah. I mean, at least with this episode, the Doctor's the boss, and the companions are there to, like, ask questions and learn. And that's the way it should be, you know, and it only took the whole season to get there, but I guess they wanted to actually show the journey. Fine, whatever. I think they could have shown that journey a little quicker, maybe in the first 2 episodes, or the first episode where she's kind of, you know, first seen weird, quirky, unsure of herself, and then, oh yeah, I'm the Doctor. Boom, let's do this. And at least this episode, we got the I'm the Doctor, let's do this sort of moment. So, I guess if I have to rate this episode, I would probably say a good 8 out of 10. It held my interest for the most part. I mean, they did bring back some of the less interesting to me sort of storylines from the earlier part of the season, which I had been complaining about, that they really didn't have any overarching sort of mystery to solve. It really felt more like a callback than a, let's sprinkle out this little weird thing and have it pop up here and there. They didn't do that. So, I was just complaining about this yesterday, for my most recent Doctor Who video, that no, we didn't have any, like, bad wolf moments this season, and I guess this is more of a season wrap-up. I will be doing a live show. You probably saw the live show before this. Yeah, it didn't feel quite like... It didn't feel quite as epic. It kind of just felt like a sequel episode. Like, this episode could be the episode immediately after the other events take place, without giving any spoilers away. So maybe now I'm rethinking. No, 8 out of 10 is good. It was a solid episode, good acting. The Doctor felt like the Doctor. The companions felt like the companions. They had some interesting growth in some moments. Yaz didn't have much to do. She really didn't. But, you know, we have too many companions, and I keep saying this. We have too many companions for everybody to have something to do. And I wouldn't know who to cut, because I like Yaz when we have Yaz episodes, and I like Ryan and Graham episodes when we have their episodes. So I wouldn't know who to cut personally. But man, too many companions. So, now, you've been warned. This is the spoiler section where I will be pulling up full screenshots and going over the actual plot details. I probably won't get too into, like, every little thing that happens, but we'll be pulling up some of the details here. So, let's get right in. Oh, where am I going to put it up? I'm going to put it up for now or in the bottom? Up on top. All right, I'm putting it up on top today. So, who are these people? You know, they're an actual alien species. We start off on an actual alien planet. We have actual aliens. Plus, that's a plus. That's a huge plus in my book. Oh, they're not the most interesting. They look kind of weird. They don't look like they're this. I mean, they look more like a student and an apprentice. And we do find out later on the episode that they're this species where they're a dual species where there's always 2 of them. I would almost suspect them to be, like, almost twin looking, you know, rather than like an old teacher, young apprentice sort of look, especially if they're supposed to exist at the same time. But they do live kind of outside, well, they outlive the human lifespan, so maybe, I don't know, it's just an odd casting choice. once we find out that they're a dual species later on, because like I said, I'm assuming they're like teacher apprentice, master student, something like that. But it's an odd casting choice, but they're good. They're perfectly fine actors, like them both. And I guess actually these people are Jedi or earthbenders or something. I think they're earthbenders if they bend rocks. I don't know. I didn't really watch that movie or the series. But I guess they're Jedi because they can lift rocks with their minds or something. Whatever. I think that's supposed to show that they're powerful. But you know what? Yeah, they can lift rocks. And of course, I didn't catch a screenshot of this, but a being lands on their planet in front of them, and they're like, oh crap. And then we cut over to, like the doctor. So the doctor and her crew land on this planet of the rock lifters or something, or ship that's 3,000 years after the opening scene. And this planet ship thing has weird waves that interfere with your moods and stuff. These neural waves that it projects. So the doctor hands out these neural balancer little thingamabobs that they stick on their foreheads to block the waves. And we meet this guy. He's character actor Mark Addy. He's been everyone from Rock Vegas Fred Flintstone in the movies to Full Monty guy to, King Robert Baratheon from Game of Thrones. So, of course, we're going to be calling him Robert Baratheon for the rest of this review. And yeah, so he's a lot confused, and the doctor and the crew trying to help him. She gives him a neural balancer thingy as well, and of course he slowly regains his memory and slowly remembers like what he's doing, who he is, what happened. Yeah, it's cool. I like seeing really good guest stars, but then when you see a good guest star like this, you want them to have as many lines as like Alan Cumming did in the Witchfinder episode, or as much screen time basically. We didn't get too much with him. I really felt like they could have had anybody, but they chose somebody that's more recognizable. And I want to say Full Monty won Oscars, didn't it? So a lot of people are going to know him from Full Monty or Game of Thrones even. It seems like, yes, they got him on the season finale, but they probably could have got him. He's like the caliber of guest star that you would get on a Christmas special, if they were to have one, which we're getting the New Year's special. So no, he's a much higher caliber guest star than just an average I was almost called a Game of Thrones Doctor Who episode. So yeah, just distracting. I mean, I like him a lot. One of the best actors probably I've seen on Doctor Who. And one of the better character actors out there too. So yeah, and so Robert Baratheon starts getting some of his memories back, and we find out he's run off with something. He has a missing crew, but he's being chased by this guy. Now this is the first shot we get of him, but we recognize him as the tooth monster, and I can't remember what they keep calling him. They call him like Tim something. Can't remember, but he's like that weird tooth monster from the very first episode. So creepy. Thank you. We needed to bring this guy back because why? I remember calling him Master Chief in that first episode as well. Of course, I will link all my other Doctor Who reviews down in the description below. But yeah, I really honestly couldn't remember which villain they were even talking about when I screenshot this. I'm like, is this the teeth monster? Who is this? But yes, this is the tooth monster guy. Tim or whatever. And yes, it is the Brad guy from the episode 1 with the teeth, and Graham does want to kill the creature. So he does warn the doctor. He has this nice little moment with the doctor where he's like, thank you so much for bringing us on this journey. I really want to thank you. I really appreciate it. By the way, I'm going to kill the son of a bitch. He killed my wife. I'm just warning you. I really appreciate everything you've done. But yeah, this guy's got it coming. So of course, the doctor doesn't want him to do it. She tries to send Graham back to the TARDIS even, and he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. So she does. This is typical. No matter which doctor, we would have some sort of moment like this. And I do like this. I do like them giving Graham the chance to confront the reason why he's here, the person who took his wife from him. So yeah, I do appreciate that we brought that back. That's good on you, Doctor Who. This is the type of storytelling we need. We need these sort of continuity, things. We need callbacks. We need a reason to keep tuning in every week rather than, 8 filler episodes. And the first and the last bookmarking each other. Now they do bring a little bit in from the second episode as well. I was bored as crap during the second episode, so I don't remember a whole lot of it. I did review it. So yeah, they did bring in the first 2 episodes, but I like the fact that they brought Graham back for to confront Tim or whatever, tooth-faced dude. So the doctor makes a plan to get Robert Baratheon's crew out and to find more information on this crystal thing that she's got in her hand. Because apparently this is another thing they found or stumbled upon. These are important, these crystal things. So I did want to take a screenshot of that for later on, which we'll get to when we get there. But yeah, it's a little crystal-y thing, whatever it is. And also, remember the lady from the opening, the Jedi Airbender people or Earthbenders. Well, those people are called Ooks, something. Couldn't quite figure out how they would spell it. And I did not turn closed captioning on, and I probably should have. But we find out here that they're the dual species, like I was mentioning earlier, and there's only 2 of them. Which is why at the time it wasn't weird that they looked so completely different in every single way. If there's only 2 of them, wouldn't they be born together? Wouldn't they be but yeah, they're only found on 3 planets, live a millennia, and make faith-built shrine ship things, apparently. Because that's what we're on, a faith-built shrine ship thing. And so the Ook people are they worship, and they have been duped into thinking that they're created by somebody that the doctor wants to say hi to. So this Ook lady is calling to her master, and of course it's the Tooth guy. It's the Mr. Tooth Fairy. What's his name? Tim. Yeah. So clearly he's not a god if he knows this random chick who makes funny faces, right? Species. You would think a species that is a little older and more intelligent would not be so quick to just worship something. I don't know. So now that I'm thinking about it, it's a little bothersome, but it was fine at the time. I didn't really question it at the time. The episode was entertaining enough, and it kept the pacing well enough for me to be okay with that and not question so much. So Yaz is off babysitting our guest star of the week, Robert Baratheon, and they're trying to find out more detail on the little crystal things that the doctor has, and that's what these things are. They're like the bright yellow crystal things with the little thing inside of them that keeps vibrating. And of course, Graham and Ryan are finding all of the crew member from Robert Baratheon's ship. And there's more people in much bigger crystal thingies, so they're kind of cocooned, imprisoned, or whatever. So of course they need rescuing. And yeah, so in the first episode of the season, the doctor flung this guy, Mr. Tooth Monster Face, across the universe, and the rock people, those rock-lifting Jedi Airbender people, worshipped him like he was a god, and of course now he wants revenge on the doctor because, yeah, that like any generic villain, they do want revenge, but that's kind of what makes these stories, is the doctor has to beat somebody. It's a little weak of a motivation, it's not like I guess it is like she imprisoned him there forever. So yeah, he's been there for thousands of years with that cell degenerate thing. So yeah, I guess he would want revenge on her, I suppose, now that I think about it. So it just seemed, for a second there, it seemed a little like, okay, we've seen the revenge motivation a million times over. But, it's fine. It's perfectly fine in this situation. And so then we have more Graham and Ryan moments. And this is one of the things I really like about this episode is the Graham and Ryan moments. It's hard to say those names together sometimes, especially when I'm writing them down. I'm so used to writing. You guys probably can't see my notes off screen here. When I write my notes, so half the time I'm spelling it Rian because I'm so used to spelling out Rian Johnson from Star Wars. But that's a beside the point thing. But anyway, Graham shares his desire to get revenge with Ryan, and we get a really cute moment here where Ryan finally admits he loves his grandpa. He called him grandpa in the last episode, and it was really great. And he finally calls him that again, and he's like, I love you, and don't pretend you didn't hear me. I'm not saying it again. And it's it's very sweet. It's very much what these characters would do after this time together, after bonding like this, after really coming through for each other. Yeah, I really like these sort of moments. And I can forgive some of the less interesting villains and stuff most of the time when we do have good character moments like this. And so ugly tooth-faced guy instructed the Ooks, whatever they're called, to start up the giant space weapon thingy. And oh yeah, remember those crystal things? Well, they have planets inside of them. Those little crystal things have giant planets inside of them. So they like pull them out of space-time and shrink them down into crystals. So that's actually a whole planet that the Doctor's carrying around. And of course the tooth-faced guy had these Uk people, whatever, make this sort of planet killer, Star Destroyer sort of thing that can wipe out, like it can just destroy. It looks like it's destroying the planet with this giant beam, but apparently they're trying to suck Earth through, because of course that's his next target is Earth. They're trying to like suck the planet through space-time, and it might collapse in on itself. Yeah, this got a little ridiculous once we got into this, at least for me, but yeah, they're trying to they're trying to use the planets to create a rip in space-time to kind of destroy pretty much everything, I guess, or that's a side effect. And of course now he's trying to steal the Earth, but the Doctor says the technology unstable, which of course it is. It's always unstable. And so the Doctor has another one of her Doctor moments, which is actually good. We do have some good, brilliant Doctor moments where the Doctor's like, yep, we're going to do this, and this, and this. So this is one of those. She decides to modify those little neural blocky thingies that they have, the neural blockers, to keep out all the memory wiping, negative emotion things. To basically block out all the signal from Mr. Toothface guy to the Ooks or whatever, so they can't have their weapon psychically attached to the beam that's going to destroy the Earth. Yeah, this is kind of where I even went back a few times and was looking at this, and I'm like, okay, so what? We're kind of getting into some weird Star Trek Discovery level, almost, not nearly as bad, but we're in that territory of, okay, what's going on? You can simplify this a little bit. This is a little unnecessary of a few steps here, but yeah. So the Doctor modifies it, blocks the thing, saves the planet, and. All right, this moment right here. So we finally need to figure out a way to put all the planets back to where they belong. All the planets in those little crystals, because there's like 5 of them. So the Doctor invites these Ook people onto the TARDIS, and here's my nitpick. It takes us 10 episodes to finally get the "it's bigger on the inside" moment, and it comes from this guy that says "dimensionally transcendental." Okay, that's cute. It's cute. It was just like 9 episodes are too late. It's not one of our companions. It kind of makes our companions look a little stupid. And then there's a kind of a funny moment right before the Doctor even tells these people, like, she's kind of talking down to them like they're prehistoric, but they're probably more advanced than she is, or just as advanced in some ways. And she says, oh yeah, it's technology, you wouldn't understand it. So he steps in and he basically says this line, dimensionally transcendental. And yeah, it took us that long to get it. I did like that we finally got it. I did like that it was in a different way. I like it when the companions, even Clara, when she's like, oh, it's smaller on the outside. Anytime they switch it up a little, I do like it when they switch it up. But man, we need that moment every season, every time we get a new Doctor. We really need that, and we didn't have that for the longest time. So of course the Doctor uses the TARDIS and the stuff from the people on the ghost planet from episode 2. It wasn't the ghost planet, it was that desert planet, which was such a boring episode that I really hated. And the technology from these people and the TARDIS and everything. And she's like, oh yeah, we were forming a supergroup with bringing all of our best bits together. So she uses all the means at her disposal to put all the planets back where they should be and saves the day. And of course, you know what? Watch the episode yourself. I don't want to spoil Graham's story arc, but you get the gist of it. So I will say that I was happy with what Graham chooses, so that's going to be the one thing I don't spoil for you is the Graham stuff, because I really love that character now. I mean, he's one of the better ones. Him and Ryan, I like them both. What did you guys think of this episode? Was this a good episode? Was this a bad episode? I enjoyed it for the most part. There was a couple of little like stupid little moments, but I did enjoy it for the most part. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you sad that we don't have a Christmas special? Are you looking forward to the New Year's special instead? Tell me what you guys think. I am MechaRandom42. I am your favorite YouTube harpy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have Twitter, I have Patreon. Watch my other Doctor Who reviews. I have a lot of Doctor Who content. And I will see you guys on the next video or live stream. Bye!